Let's go. Another episode, no pump fakes. We here. Today's guest, Marcus Thompson. What's going on, man? How you doing?
What's up, family?
What's up?
I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. This book promo tour got me. Man, I'm foaming at the mouth. I've been talking so much all day. I got that little corner white, so I'm glad I got y'all at the end of the day because I know y'all gonna have some fun and we're gonna have to. I don't have to say all the company lines. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
No,
you know
definitely not.
Like,
It's gonna be a real conversation.
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
With that.
Yeah, some agreements, some disagreements, but it's all
A lot
real.
of disagreements. Let's go.
All right. So, off rip, I mean, obviously you mentioned, your author about your book. So if you could just off rip, just talk a little bit about that.
So I got a new book out called Dynasties. It talks about the 10 teams that changed basketball forever. And it's really like a look at the history of the NBA through the lens of the great teams and the great players. But I normally write like more long form, like my first two books were like books. This is more of a breakdown. It's like less long form, like sections. I broke it out a lot. Very easy to read. We're looking at the cultural impact of the dynasties. We're looking at how they came together. We're looking at villains of the dynasty, but just this concept of every dynasty represents a certain level the NBA was at, and each one kind of grows the league. So I think it's pretty fun. I got this artist, Yu Ming Huang, who went in on the illustrations. And I know this because my daughter, who refuses to read any of my books, has this book open on her desk. So her own father, bars don't draw her, but some colorful pictures will. So he must be nice. It must be attractive if she opened it up because she don't care at all about my writing.
So you mentioned the word dynasties. Obviously, that's the title of it, right? So how would you define a dynasty?
So I did break this down in a book. Number one, like you got to have like crazy success. Like you can't winning a title ain't enough. Like you got to do something rather extraordinary. The other thing is like you got to evolve the game. You got to do something to take the game to a new level, to introduce something just revolutionary about you. You got to be next level with it. I like this idea of you kind of got to inspire some level of hate. People have to care about you enough to not like you, because that's the true sense of whether you lit or not. Like can you create enemies, right? Can you have a whole region going after your neck? And one of the kind of subjective elements is like, did they make us remember them, right? Like, do we inevitably talk about them? Was their impact so great that we can't avoid them? We gotta remember them. We gotta bring them up. That kind of like intangible impact, right? So it was tough because it was some really good teams we had to leave off. So I kind of had to have some kind of criteria. If I'm gonna piss people off, I need to point to a rubric why y'all, but that was what I went with. Those four.
Who, before we get to kind of going in on your book and talking about the dynasties you included in your book, who's your favorite dynasty of all time?
I'm rocking with the Bulls, man. Like that's my era, Man, all this stuff is hella subjective. It's like, yo, what was you watching when you was 15? For me, it was Jordan. Like I was rocking Jordans. I was watching Come Fly With Me on VHS. You know what I'm saying? Like that was my era. Like I was watching Bulls on WGN. Like I was hollering at girls after the Bulls game because I was hyped because the Bulls won. So now it's like time to hit this party. Like that was when I was being formed as a man, right? My swag, my understanding of what was cool, like who I wanted to be, all that was being shaped while I was watching Mike get buckets. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think there's anything that can replace that. There's nothing that can fill that emotional and sentimental value. So logic don't even be mattering in these conversations. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like,
one of those.
Like it don't matter. Like you can't. What you gonna say? Like what you gonna tell an old man who was there when Bill Russell was fighting racism? You gonna be like, yo, LeBron? Like, nah, like he was in the building when they was lynching black people and Bill Russell was out here representing. You gonna tell him he can't have that? Like, nah, you can't do that. So it's like, it's about what forms you. It's a personal, emotional thing. So I'm rocking with the Bulls. You telling me you could make a great argument that Steph, Clay, KD being on the same team is ridiculous, because it is. Like, it's insane that those dudes were together, but I'm still rocking with. I mean, I wasn't 14 when they were together. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I wasn't macking at the high school dance when they were together.
It's crazy. It's crazy because that wouldn't have been the first, dynasty that I would have came to mind after Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls, the Golden State Warriors. Some could argue that. Are they? Yeah, I guess they're a dynasty.
What do you mean? Some could argue. You don't think they're a dynasty?
Which one you going to? Then, if not after Jordan, which one you going to? There is no other than
Shaq and Kobe.
Thank you. That's
my greatest duo of all time.
My question.
No, I mean, you saying it like after the Bulls, like you saying Shaq and Kobe was better than the Bulls?
No, I'm saying like you want to.
I thought you meant like. After, like, you had to be better than the Bulls to be considered. No.
I mean, like, after you said that the Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan.
Oh, you saying what's
Scottie
next?
Pippen. You said Stephen Curry and Kevin Durant, them boys. I'm like, well,
No, but why are you on the fence about them being a dynasty? I'm confused.
I'm not necessarily on the fence about them being a dynasty. I'm just saying I think it's more.
You was kind of on the fence. You was kind of on that boy.
I think it's more. I don't know. I think it's more impressive dynasties than the Golden State Warriors. I think they would be kind of on the bottom tier. I think Kevin Durant made them a dynasty. But if we talking about dynasties, I'm thinking about the Bad Boy Pistons.
You think the Bad Boy Pistons are better than the Warriors?
What the hell?
I mean,
you just hate.
I'm talking about. We knew everybody knew the Golden State Warriors was going to win the finals.
How does that make them not a dynasty?
Yeah, I'm not saying it doesn't make them not a dynasty. I'm just saying when I think of adversity. I think of people overcoming something. I think of like the Golden State Warriors had nothing to really overcome. So I think of dynasty. People talk about Michael Jordan. They talk about his run when he won all those championships, but also people talk about his journey, how he had to overcome Magic, how he had to overcome Bird, how he had to overcome the Bad Boy Pistons, stuff like that. I think that all matters. I think story matters. And you're a writer, so you should know this. Like, storytelling matters when we talk about like dynasties and stuff like that. That's just my opinion, though.
I just think your opinion is a little bit skewed because they did have to overcome. They did lose to the Clippers in Game 7 in the Donald Sterling series. Like, that happened. Like, they did lose to the Spurs. That happened. Like, we can't say it didn't happen. Unless you're saying the dynasty started in 2015 after they won a title. If you're saying it started then, but they did take the L to Kyrie, and like that happened. That's adversity. Like,
they did.
Like,
and
we can't say those things didn't happen.
LeBron James.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what I'm saying. I was there. Like it happened. We can't say it didn't happen.
Yeah.
The dynasty didn't start when KD got there. If you're saying it started when KD got there, all right.
He made them a dynasty. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, he probably put them over the hump in terms.
He made them a dynasty.
I mean,
he made them a dynasty.
You said the Bad Boy Pistons. Then you saying Mark Aguirre made them a dynasty?
No,
that was a major.
Don't compare Mark Aguirre to Kevin Durant, bro.
I'm not. You saying no. You're saying that an acquisition is what made. Like, if you get a player and he Mark Aguirre literally did that for the Pistons. They traded Adrian Dantley. They got Mark Aguirre, and then they were.
It's not the same level as Kevin Durant going to Golden State Warriors and playing with Stephen Curry. It's not the same.
It is the same thing.
Once a top 10 player of all time.
My point to you is, if you're starting it when the acquisition happens, Mark Aguirre was not there. No.
I'm not necessarily starting.
Mark Aguirre was not there when they were losing to the Celtics. He wasn't there. Fine. So they made a free agency acquisition and they got better. But you saying you can't count before that if it's the Warriors?
All I'm saying is really that when I look at the Golden State Warriors dynasty, when they got Kevin Durant, it was kind of like Kevin Durant kind of made them a dynasty. He made them unstoppable. Like, I don't think, like, if they don't have Kevin Durant, I don't know if they become a dynasty. That's all I don't know.
Is it true with Robert? You just described every single dynasty, basically.
But it's levels. Like, what are we doing here? Like,
you just described every dynasty.
Before Kevin Durant, they were still 73-9, bro. Like, it's not
with
that's
a
what I'm
title.
saying.
They were.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
they were.
with the title. So
They were.
7-3-9 before they won a chip. It's not like, they were bums and KD came and they just elevated them. I get what you're
Of course.
saying, that KD going there made them unstoppable, but let's not make it seem like KD went to a team that was like, the
Of course not,
6th
no.
seed. Like,
We're not
he
saying that.
went
But I'm
to a
just saying
team that was pretty much ready to win anyway.
But it don't matter. They went 16 and 1 in the playoffs. This is not a real discussion.
But again, I see what you're saying, Ahmad, but like I won't just say that Kevin Durant, he himself made them a dynasty. He elevated them. He put them in a different tier.
But it don't matter. He was on the team.
I don't know.
It don't matter. He was on the team.
All I know is I don't know if Kevin
Durant
Durant
off the team. He was on the team.
Me personally, if Kevin Durant doesn't go there, I don't know if they're a dynasty.
Barr doesn't go to the
That's all I
Pistons.
don't
If
know.
Robert Parrish doesn't go to the Celtics, you can say that with every single. It's all an acquisition.
The if game is kind of
you can say that with.
You can play that with a lot of things.
One is a big if though. Like I don't Kevin Durant. We talking about
how about this?
Kevin Durant. He's a top 10 player of all time. What are we doing here?
If you want to run with that, Ahmad, who's to say that KD would have those 2 championships then?
He would.
If that's what you want to run with. If that's what you want to run with.
He probably
look at the flip side.
No, so
that's
you're
that's a great argument.
You're saying the Warriors with Kevin Durant is a bottom tier dynasty.
All I'm saying, the Warriors. I'm not saying they're bottom tier.
I'm saying the dynasty includes Kevin Durant. Like you can't take him out. So with Kevin Durant, they're a bottom tier dynasty.
I said with
before.
Kevin Durant.
I think he had before. I don't know before Kevin Durant.
No, he's saying they weren't a dynasty before Durant. He's saying Durant made them a dynasty, and he called them a bottom tier dynasty. So you saying Steph, Clay, KD, Draymond, Andre Iguodala is a bottom tier dynasty?
No. I didn't say bottom tier.
I think.
You did.
I
didn't
know.
Back. You said bottom end.
Right.
You were like bottom end.
Oh yeah. But I was more so talking about other dynasties that I look at are ahead of them. I'm not disrespecting like saying they're not a dynasty. I'm just saying like other dynasties I have ahead of them.
I get that. I understand that, but I'm saying you're saying
Bad Boy Pistons. I think their dynasties are
that's
better.
where you lose me right there. That's
crazy. You gotta relax. I'm gonna give you Kobe and Shaq. I'm gonna give you Jordan.
I'll give you
Jordan. I don't know why you mentioned it. Come on, man.
I mean, the San Antonio Spurs had a
no.
Come on, man.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
You're telling me no real talk.
Look, you want to know why? It's because those other teams, right? The Bulls and the Lakers, they're top 2 guys. Then it's like, all right, you got Kobe and Shaq, cool. You got Mike and Scottie, cool. I love Joe Dumars, you know what I'm saying? But I can't say Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars versus Steph and KD. I know you're not comparing necessarily duos, but like, dog, Steph and Curry and KD were on the same basketball team.
And Isaiah Thomas had to beat Magic Johnson, had to beat Michael Jordan, he had to beat Larry Bird. That's what I'm saying.
LeBron and Kyrie ain't that?
Oh yeah, we even talk about LeBron, Wade, and Bosh. Like
LeBron and Kyrie ain't that?
Yeah, all right.
I'm not saying they're not like that. I'm just talking about the overall story.
No, I'm saying, dude, that's an incredible.
That's all I'm saying.
So that's the man. You got to be genuine.
That's not disrespectful.
I'm being genuine. It's not disrespectful. No, I'm saying you can't change the goalposts like that.
I'm not changing the goalpost. I'm talking about me personally. What I feel is more impressive than something else.
Yeah, there we go. He's using the word impressive.
You gotta feel that way.
He's using the word impressive.
I think the Bad Boys Pistons dynasty is more impressive. Isaiah Thomas won 2 championships without a top 75 player. He's probably the only player in history to do that besides Kobe Bryant.
There you go.
Besides Kobe Bryant. So it's just kind of like to say that I'm saying something that's so crazy that the Bad Boys Pistons dynasty wasn't impressive. Like Isaiah Thomas is not that guy. That's not.
But all right, there we go. That's what it is. Y'all having 2 conversations. Y'all having 2 different conversations. Ahmad, you're saying impressive. Impressive versus like actual dynasty and who's actually better is 2 different things. Because if we're talking about,
I never crossed that line.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So if we're talking about impressive, I mean, Dirk's run was probably one of the most impressive. But in terms of dynasty, like who is an actual dynasty? Who is the better team? Which team I'm saying is actually better?
Better team. Yeah, of course.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Of course.
Okay. Oh, what the hell?
Of course.
I mean, all I'm saying is you to make it sound like that.
Yeah, you were making it seem like
you clarified yourself. I got you.
I was more so talking about impressive. I was more so.
Right.
Let's get into it.
No, we into it. What you mean? Let's get in.
I need to hear the top. I need to hear your top 10 dynasties, Marcus.
Man,
In
They
order.
in the book. What we about to
I was about to say, I don't want to give them the all. So,
We ain't gonna get them all. Yeah, we need.
all right,
we
so
need
play like this. The team that you feel that's in there that might irritate some people the most. How about that?
there you go.
Because obviously, we got the Kobe and Shaq.
We don't want to give them all away.
One thing I will say, though, that I noticed, and I'm going to give, obviously, the whole book away, is that when it came to LeBron, did you have a specific team for him?
Nah. I felt
Why is
like,
that?
Because I felt like he was his own entity, like who he is. Like he made Miami worthy and he made Cleveland worthy, right? To me, it was the singular player, like who had done something so ridiculous. You can't talk about none of this stuff without talking about 8 straight finals. Like you can't talk about this stuff without talking about the dude won a championship with every team he's played for. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it felt like what LeBron accomplished by himself in his career was greater than what the Heat did, who kind of took 2 L's. One of them was out of pocket, right? One of them was like a disqualifier in my book. But what LeBron did was so unheard of and what we've never seen before, that to me, it just felt like it was its own, it was just its own thing, man. LeBron made the Miami Heatles, right? He made them. He made Cleveland, right? He made the Lakers. Wherever he go, the dynasty comes with him. So to me, that's why I went that route, because what the Heat accomplished is kind of in line with a lot of other teams, and they were kind of all together. Well, LeBron did, man. Like if I pick them, Heat or the Lou Alcindor Bucks or the Rockets in there, then we have this whole conversation without talking about LeBron with the 8 straight finals. And to me, that's just kind of unacceptable.
Yeah. One man dynasty. Now we agree on something, Marcus.
No. What's the difference between LeBron going to the Heat and Kevin Durant going to the Warriors?
The Miami Heat wasn't a 73-9 team, and I would say that the Miami Heat also didn't make the playoffs when LeBron James came down there. So I think Marcus has a point about saying like he kind of made them who they were.
No, I know. Just if we having this conversation, that question has to be asked. So.
Yeah, I know. I just answered it.
Yeah.
I think the conversation you're having makes me the way you're thinking about it made me want to write Dynasties. I think you are changing the rules.
I'll just ask the question.
Not you.
It wasn't a statement.
Ahmad's idea that you can only team up in a certain way and in a certain fashion and under particular rules never existed before Kevin Durant. Nobody ever asked how a team got together, ever. Nobody asked how Magic ended up with Kareem. Nobody asked how Bird. It was never part of the conversation. But because people just didn't like what Kevin Durant did, we created a new rule.
I defended Kevin. I didn't mind.
No, you basically said.
I didn't mind.
All right, let's go. I mean, we've been talking about this for 5 years, so I kind of know what you said. You're basically saying what KD did was kind of whack. And LeBron's was better because his team wasn't a preset dynasty.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm one of those players
implying it at every turn.
That's a different. I mean, that's a different topic. Like whether or not I support Kevin Durant's move, I don't let that dictate how I judge the Warriors. It's literally
dictating how he's judging a dynasty. Like literally, you saying they don't have a story because they added this super.
No, I said their story isn't as impressive as other dynasties. That's what I said.
So
I didn't say that they didn't have a story. I just said
you think LeBron, you think KD's free agent move was just as legit as LeBron's.
I think that Kevin Durant. I think Kevin Durant made a great. I think Kevin Durant. If you look at the Oklahoma City Thunder, he won an MVP. He won a scoring title. All NBA teams. He did all that. So it's just kind of like him not winning the championship. People shouldn't have been a surprise that he wanted to leave. It's like he maxed out every aspect of his game and ability at OKC. And he looked at the Golden State Warriors, it's kind of like, only thing he needed on his resume is rings. So he said, let me go get some rings, and people ain't gonna better say like, I ain't got rings because my resume is gonna be complete. And that's what he did. I didn't have a problem with it, but I can't pretend that some people feel like going to a 73-9 team kind of took the easy way out, or some people feel like, he doesn't have any rings. I'm not one of those people, but that's how other people feel. Like I have no problem with the move.
I'm just addressing that conversation, that idea. That made me want to write about it.
Address it.
Because nobody said this about Wilt. The dude joined Jerry West and Elgin Baylor. Like this was never a conversation before Kevin Durant. It was nobody ever talked about this. It wasn't about how you join. And to be honest, the real problem is black people controlling their own destiny. I'm just saying, like nobody ever has a problem with this in any other sport, any other fashion, any other situation.
Of course, yeah.
But Kevin Durant did it.
That's why I say, like, as an employee, because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, as an employee, he made the best decision that he felt was right for him. So I get that. At the end of the day, if you want better, do that. Right? I'm not going to get mad at a gentleman for saying, like, you know what? I want to win a championship, so I'm going to go here. Very simple. Kevin Durant doesn't owe us anything. But my thing was, as a competitor, right, if I'm viewing you as just an athlete, you joining a team, it's not even just a 73-9 thing. You joining a team that you were up 3-1 against, and you could have beaten, and you had a good team, and you were one of the best players in the league. Those are the things that I might mention. It ain't even just the Warriors 7-3-9, whatever. Kevin Durant was in a position to win, right? You look at the teams that LeBron, that Cleveland team, original Cleveland team that LeBron brought to the finals. Oh my goodness. You look around like, oh, hey, I don't blame LeBron for leaving. Shit. But Kevin Durant, it wasn't like that. Russ wasn't no scrub. Now, you can make the case that, KD wanted more spacing, so he, I'm saying he went with the, Steph and Clay, but hey,
that's true.
That to me, that's the only thing that might make me look at the situation different from an athlete and competitor standpoint. But again, as an individual, as someone who just wants better for himself, I'm not mad at that. Like, you know what I'm saying? The hell with, like, he don't owe myself, he don't owe anybody anything. If he wants to leave to go to Golden State, do that. That's just how I feel about it. But that doesn't take away from, again, the Warriors being probably a top 3 dynasty of all time. Depending on who you ask, maybe 4 or 5. But yeah, no. I don't want to dive into that conversation again about, KD leaving. But naturally, if we talk about dynasties, I feel like it has to happen. Should he have stayed?
Got to.
Sure. Right. Yeah. We can't, that's probably
I'm just saying, my thing is he went. Like, no matter what you think about it, like, they literally played together, and you just got to evaluate them based on how they were together. Like, period. Bottom line. Like, and we will look at this in 20 years and think, are you kidding me? Like, there will be the 100th anniversary NBA team with the NBA 100, and it'll be probably 4 dudes for one team on that one. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's wild, right? When you just think about it, like, that's how surreal it was what they did and how good they were. Like, it was nuts. It was nuts in that way. And I understand the argument. I get it, like the competitor thing. It's just, it never was a thing, man. Like, Shaq went to the Lakers and everybody celebrated. He went to a championship franchise. He went to a place where they win titles. Yeah. Like, that's what they did. But that's, it don't matter. Like, no. So I was alive. I was there when it happened. This is 1996. Going to the Lakers was leveling up. It wasn't like, they had a down year. It was like, he's in the mode of Wilt Chamberlain and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and now it's Shaq. It was like, okay, Shaq has made it to, he's leveled up, right? So, I mean, it wasn't the struggle bars people try to make it out to be, right? This is like, I'm going to a franchise where I know we're going to get it done, because he was playing in Orlando. So, and I'm just saying, this was never a conversation. This wasn't what was talked about. Nobody was like, I mean, that's kind of weak. You should have did it from Orlando.
Yeah, but going to a franchise that has a winning culture is different, I feel, than going to a team.
It is different. It is different.
Going to a team that's ready to win now.
But we're only talking about degrees, and where does it stop? That's all. All we talk about is degrees. So because somebody can make that case about Kevin Durant, then I could make that case about Shaq. You should have done the Giannis route and win in the small market where you ain't got no resources, where you can't get whatever you want.
But again, I don't think it's about KD leaving.
Title of all, right? That dude did it with Drew Holiday.
I agree.
Right?
I agree. Someone on this podcast doesn't agree, but I agree.
No, I think that's asinine.
I agree.
What?
I agree.
I mean, he won. That was congrats. He won. He should have won. If you look at the conference finals in the Western Conference Finals, it's just like he was the best player left in the playoffs with a lot of things that happened where we look at teams that weren't healthy and stuff like that. I mean, he should have won. Yes. Giannis being a two-time MVP, defensive player of the year, he should have won.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Giannis at any point could have joined the Warriors or anybody. And he stayed at a place with fewer resources, fewer plug, where he could make less money, right? And endorsements and off the court. Like, that's what I'm saying. Shaq literally said, I'm going to put myself in a better situation where I'm basically guaranteed a title. It's the Lakers. They have 17
I don't know about guarantee. I don't know about guarantee. Y'all
wasn't alive. You wasn't outside. You wasn't outside.
Again, like the winning culture part, I'm with you. That's a historic franchise. I'm with you on that.
So tell me something. Why do the Lakers always win? Why is it them in Boston all the time?
It ain't, and saying Boston ain't really won nothing in,
since 08
years.
Yeah. If we really want to have that conversation.
And even then, it's just kind of like, you talked about some of the dynasties, like those are real, like old dynasties, like the Bird, and then you go to like talk about Bill Russell and stuff like that. But like, them rings came
y'all saying
a long time ago.
Y'all saying the Lakers are not like an ultimate
franchise. No.
We're saying,
I'm saying the team that Kevin Durant went to.
You're not wrong. I'm saying if you make that argument, I'm only 2 degrees from using the same logic and just taking it further.
It's not though.
That's all it is.
Okay. So let me ask you something, right? The team that Shaq went to, right? When he left Orlando and went to LA, the team that Shaq went to, which one was better? That team or the team that Kevin Durant went to?
The actual team?
Right. I'm asking.
Probably Orlando at the time.
No. The Lakers roster, as it was already set before Shaquille O'Neal went there, which one was better? That Lakers roster or the Warriors roster before Kevin Durant got there?
Oh, hold on. You talking about...
He's ready.
The Warriors. What are you talking about?
That's my point. That's my point.
No. I've said 100 times you're not wrong, but the idea that Kevin Durant leveled up for a title, if that's a problem, I can say the same thing about anybody who leaves a small market and goes to a big one. I could literally. So Shaq goes to LA, right? Why did Shaq leave Orlando and Penny Hardaway? Why?
He wanted to get more endorsement deals. Penny Hardaway was injury riddled.
Okay.
He took Orlando to the finals. Like it.
That's a literal. So we can agree that money is a literal factor in who wins the title.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not gonna. I'm
not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying it just creates a further environment where we can now diminish people's titles. That's it.
Okay. That's why Shaq left. Do you believe that's the same reason why Kevin Durant left?
No. Can't be.
All right then.
Okay.
All right then.
Okay, yeah.
All right then.
What does that mean?
Okay.
All right. No, I'm saying though, like the reason behind all of this too plays a factor, as you said. Shaq leaving, whether it's for money. All right, cool.
So were people right for dismissing for deriding LeBron for leaving?
No, nobody's not deriding nobody for any
Are you
leader.
saying nobody's
so.
deriding LeBron? Are you kidding me?
No,
LeBron
I'm saying,
was the most hated player of all. I'm not saying y'all. I'm talking about the conversation.
I'm with you.
I'm saying that was wrong. I'm saying it's the same concept. Like, I can't win in Cleveland. Let me go somewhere where I could be more set up to win. Durant is like the super exaggerated version of that.
But
if you say Durant can't do it,
I agree. I feel like players should be able to go wherever they want to go. Let me say that first, right? Whatever. But like I said, it's the fact that he went to the team that beat him.
Yeah.
Like everything else, you want to join other guys. You went to the team that defeated you, that you could have beaten, that you were up 3-1 against. This didn't it wasn't like
that's never happened before.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
That's how people. So people are gonna remember, regardless of how we feel about like we don't care. Kevin Durant has said
before.
When is a player a superstar, a top 10 player of all time?
That caliber, so of course not. Right?
Well, exactly, exactly.
But you can make the case with the only thing you could say is Kareem. That's it.
Kareem won a championship with the Milwaukee Bucks.
But he still left.
But he won. He won a championship. He won. He won one though. Like he won one. Like he won one though.
That's what I'm saying. So all y'all have done is to add all of the. My whole point is the modern discourse has added 50 million addendums to the conversation just because you didn't like it. That's it. That's it. We just made up rules. We just freestyle rules.
I think we all have been in reality. We saw what happened that took place with the situation.
But my point is, did you actually look at what happened in the past first?
The past based on what? Other players moving and stuff like that? Of course.
Yes.
But we
people doing that. I ain't talking about us. Like we basketball.
Okay,
Right. Yeah, I know what you mean. I get
what you're saying. I get what you're saying, and that's why you wrote the book. I get what you're saying. Yeah, that makes sense. Like
ain't nobody going back to see how the Minneapolis Lakers was constructed.
I mean, it's just tough though because, I mean, like from now on, for literally the rest of his career and forevermore, like people will wonder, could KD win one on his own?
I believe he couldn't. With Oklahoma City, he literally said, "I can't win with these guys." That's literally what he said.
Okay. Again, if he said it, he said it. But like,
could you see a universe where that was the absolute best chance they had?
Yes,
and they still couldn't get it done.
You're up 3-1 against a team like that with, like, you got prime KD, prime Russ. Like, you might not have won that year, and it might not have worked out. Right, it might not have been a situation
I'm just saying,
where
what if that was the peak? Y'all not making a room for that might have been the peak. Like the best they could be.
Did
Says
KD,
Kevin Durant.
Like, I'm saying, okay, for what reason did he have for saying that? Right, if you take out a Game 6 Klay Thompson,
have you seen Russ since then? Have you seen Russ since then?
Okay, all right.
Have you seen Serge Ibaka's knees?
All right. So now we're gonna play. Okay.
I'm telling
the Russell Westbrook that won MVP the following season.
Thank you, Russ. Thank you. Yeah, the Russell Westbrook that won MVP
from the 6th seed.
It don't matter. He did something historic that was never done in the history of the game.
You already said this. You've already said he already won MVPs. He's already won. So you're telling me Russ would ever? You telling me the way Russ won that MVP, he would ever get to play like that with Kevin Durant?
He would. I'm saying that any guy that plays that can win an MVP,
we're not going to disrespect Russ.
It's good enough. It's good enough to be the second best player on a championship team. That's what I'm saying. So the whole idea was like, what was Russ after that? An MVP. Literally an MVP. Yeah. So,
and they went to the finals when they were 22 years old. So we seen Russell Westbrook be the second best player on the team and Kevin Durant have success. They just ran up against LeBron.
Exactly.
I tell you this, he ain't a better second best player than Klay Thompson. And he certainly ain't a better best player than Steph Curry.
Yeah, 7-3-9 team, and that's why Kevin Durant wanted to go there.
These are the factors KD is talking about. That's all. That's why
Kevin Durant wanted to go there. But
that narrative is crazy. That narrative is crazy to me.
No, but look, a lot of this stuff, man. I know y'all. It's a basketball conversation, but man, look, as someone who's covered the league since 2004. There's so much stuff that don't have nothing to do with basketball that determines this stuff. Like, there is just so much stuff. And not like, there's obviously inner conflict, right? There's I said, we watched it happen with KD and Draymond. But where people are personally, what they dealing with, and they like, all that stuff factors in. So that's one of the reasons why I do pause before, like, we can't take that stuff out like this is a video game. That dude literally went on a burner account and said, I can't win with these dudes. There was something else there, yo.
Of course. That's what I said. Like, as a man, as an individual, as a human, you have the right to pursue what it is that you want to pursue. Period. Again, he doesn't owe anyone anything. But I'm not here to talk on the show about him as a person, right?
All I'm saying is,
I'm here to talk hoop. Like, I just can't, regardless of what was happening in the locker room, all these different things.
Hey, y'all, what happened on that court? Russ would have got them a title. Y'all wild. That's all I'm saying.
Now is Russ hate. Now we can open up that book. We can acknowledge the Russ disrespect.
No, he went to the finals with Russ. He was one game away to go to another finals.
I said win a title.
He played the Miami. He played the Heat. Actually, the betting odds were for the Oklahoma City Thunder to win over the Miami Heat.
Smash, yeah. So Vegas was wrong. They got blitzed.
And who do they play?
Miami.
That's
my point. One of the greatest players of all time.
Like, come on.
What does that mean? So you saying Russ could win?
They played a dynasty, Marcus. They played a dynasty.
You saying
Marcus? They played a dynasty.
Who you think you gonna see in the finals? You ain't gonna see no peons. You gonna see dudes going for GOAT status. You gonna see Giannis. You gonna see KD. You gonna see
different.
You ain't seeing no half scrubs out here.
He was playing a dynasty.
That's why what Dirk did was so crazy. That's why he was playing the great. Every time he go, that's what he gonna face up with. So what? Kyrie did it. Kyrie did it. What?
He's playing with
LeBron.
LeBron James.
And he playing with KD. And he playing with KD.
Okay, so what team was better? That Heat team or the Thunder team? What team was expected to win? Oh, please. Oh, please. Oh, please. Oh, you can't say that. You can't say that. As much as you just talk shit about Russ, you can't say that. Oh, no.
I think you talk about Russ.
Oh, no.
I'm playing the heel. I'm playing the heel.
That's
on
fine.
purpose.
Oh, of course. But either way,
there's no way that OKC team, if they don't win a title, they some of the biggest chokers of all time. Like if they stay together, I was there. That Warriors team was shook for the first time I ever seen. They was like, "Oh, this team better than us." I didn't went to the locker rooms after the losses, and they was like, "No, I'm telling you, they've been on the ropes forever." They're like, "Man, we gonna win." That one, they was like, Oh yeah, no, this team is it.
All right. So if you're saying the Warriors thought maybe, okay, the Thunder could have beat them, and you say maybe Kevin was like, I don't know if I can win with this team, well then damn. Like who thought they could win the series then? If the Warriors think like shit, we can't beat them, but then you got the best player in the series.
No, they thought they could beat them. They just thought the OKC team was better. But they were like, they were like, this team is better. But
it was a crazy collapse by it was crazy. We saw two collapse back to back, one with KD and one with Steph.
And they said, "Okay, let's shoot each other."
We saw two of the craziest collapse probably in NBA history back to back. That 2016 finals was crazy, which just also like we got to give credit to LeBron James, like Marcus said, being like this one man dynasty. Anywhere LeBron James goes, it's kind of like he elevates the team. So,
all right, but do you think that Miami Heat team, that era, I guess, was a dynasty though? So you're saying it wasn't?
I mean, look, if I don't want to give LeBron this pedestal, right, that I felt he deserved, I'd probably go with that Heat team. Like it would be the 10th team. Like I would put them over the Rockets who won like when Jordan was out, or you know what I'm saying? Like there's some other really good teams but I would have put just because LeBron's just got to be in it, you know. I do think that Dallas loss series was pretty damning, and how they ended was not good either. Like they went out like some non-Gs, right? And to me that was pretty, you know, that was just pretty, that didn't help their cause. In other words, like, you know, I could definitely hear an argument for them. Like part of this is to create a conversation and debate. So yeah,
of course,
absolutely, I could hear an argument for the Miami Heat. We're talking about like all of these other elements, cultural impact, evolution. I mean, they literally jump-started this idea of player movement and player empowerment and movement. Like that was the Heat team that did that. That showed, you know, you could do this without the general managers, and you know what I'm saying? So they deserve kudos for creating that. You know what I'm saying? This Kevin Durant conversation we haven't happened because the Miami Heat showed that they can control, like players have a control, and that's important. You know what I'm saying? That matters a lot. But I just really wanted to make sure LeBron was, what he's done was highlighted and respected, because we're talking about, like, can you imagine this without LeBron? Like, there's some great players who are not mentioned in this book. I mean, their names might be in there, but they're not highlighted, you know. Wilt Chamberlain, you know what I'm saying? Like Charles Barkley, you know, it's a lot of dudes who are absolute legends who they just don't get this kind of love. This is a unique kind of, you know what I'm saying? I just can't imagine LeBron not being in that. So if I stretch it to 15, then all right, because 11 is weird.
Right. I mean, that to me though, that's what make these types of lists, you know, that's that much better. It's like, I hate to say it, but somebody gotta get left off, right? Yep. If everybody is on there, it doesn't make it as special, right? Yep. So, but one thing too I want to talk to you about was the Warriors era. I think I noticed right? So LeBron was a dynasty. He himself was a dynasty, right? Wherever he went.
Yeah,
but is that also the case for Steph Curry? Is Steph Curry a one-man dynasty? Because
I think he needs one more title. But I don't know. I think LeBron is such a unique case. Steph ain't going nowhere else. Like he ain't hopping around, right? He's not. Yeah, he's not doing this coming with me.
Steph can't do what LeBron did. I mean, LeBron James in NBA history.
I don't know about that.
He can't do what LeBron James could do in NBA history.
What is 16, that? Like go to another team and win a title?
Go to the team. He can't go to a team when in LeBron James' prime. LeBron James probably can go to almost any team and probably make them at least a conference finals or finals like contender. I don't think Stephen Curry can do that
East,
by himself.
In the East,
by himself.
He wasn't doing that in the West back then.
I mean, he just went to the West.
Nah, ain't no I mean. This is
got
hurt.
And got hurt. And then
you said it in his prime. You said it in his prime.
In his prime.
You talking about them Cleveland years, right? You talking about the first Cleveland years.
Cleveland, Miami.
Because that's Shaq Kobe years. That's that's early Tim Duncan years. What?
Well, I mean, not that. Maybe not that early, right? Am I correct?
I'm trying to figure out what you're talking about.
Maybe not that early. Maybe not Baby Bron. Maybe not Baby Bron, but
not talking about Baby Bron. All I'm saying is we sit LeBron James in NBA history. It's been like 6 teams that made the finals 4 straight times. LeBron James was on 2 of those teams. You know what I'm saying? Like LeBron that's why he won 8 straight individually. That's why you have him in the book as a one-man dynasty.
I hope you're not trying to sell me on LeBron. I literally made
No, I'm not. I'm just trying to let you know that
LeBron versus Steph probably.
That LeBron versus Steph is no comparisons when we talking about doing stuff like that.
I completely disagree with that. There's no comparison.
We just seen Stephen Curry struggle he couldn't even get his team past Ja Morant in the play-in tournament. Like come on now, like we talk about LeBron. Like what are we doing here? I love Steph, but it's just like, damn, come on.
I'm sorry. So essentially, this is like a size thing, basically, right?
It's not a size thing. I was a guard. I was a 6'2" undersized shooting guard in college.
And did you lead a team? Did you lead a team by yourself through a play-in tournament?
I would say this though. It's more so about like wherever LeBron went, he would have. Like, would he have gone to 8 straight finals? At least in the Eastern Conference.
I would say wherever LeBron went, if he had a really good number 2 with him. Like, he wasn't doing this by himself. Let's not disrespect Kyrie.
Sometimes he was. Sometimes he was.
You gotta be kidding.
That first finals?
Oh, you talking about 07. I said it in the East. I said in the East. Yeah, he could do that.
It's a great year.
He wasn't doing that in the West.
It takes a team.
No, I got you. No, I'm not. Look, I'm all on LeBron, early LeBron. Like, I'm an advocate of LeBron. I'm just saying,
Marcus,
if you put Steph with a player as good as Kyrie or AD, you telling me he can't get? That's wild.
We seen Stephen Curry not. We seen Stephen.
You ain't seen Steph do. No,
I've seen LeBron James. I've seen LeBron James. I've seen LeBron James take teams without a great second star to the playoffs.
Okay,
I haven't seen Stephen Curry do that. So we had an opportunity last year and didn't do it.
2012, 2013. 2013, 2014, and I know what you're gonna say. Klay Thompson. Klay wasn't even that good then.
That's what I'm gonna say.
He wasn't even that good then.
Yeah, but I'm
saying, but you'd be wrong if you said that.
Come on now.
He wasn't an all-star. He wasn't. Go look at his numbers. Klay wasn't even available in the 2015 finals. Like it was Steph and Draymond. Like go check your numbers.
Draymond's a Hall of Famer.
He ended up.
I didn't see LeBron do it without Hall of Famers. I didn't see LeBron do it with his second best player.
You saw LeBron do what without
Hall
of Famers?
Take his team at least to the.
Yeah, he did.
Take his team to the playoffs. You can't say you to compare.
So you telling me to
that man to a LeBron?
You telling me no?
That's crazy.
What's crazy is you changing the bar.
No, I'm not. Did I change the bar?
No. Listen,
did I change the bar?
Did you watch the 2012-13 Warriors? Okay. Did you watch the 2012-13 Warriors?
2012, 2013, like before like the championship run?
Yeah. Did you watch them?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
You telling me Klay was a Hall of Famer?
No, I'm not.
No, that what? Wait, why are you talking about 2012, 2013?
Because he said Steph can't lead a team to the playoffs. If you watch that playoffs, you wouldn't say that.
Well, first of all, I don't think he meant like lead them to the playoffs. I think
that's literally what he said.
You saying lead them to the playoffs? I mean,
he said he's never seen Steph not take a Hall of Famer and lead him to the playoffs. That's just what he said. Without a Hall of Famer.
I'm saying one guy can do it sometimes, and one guy can do it.
Okay.
One guy can take a team to the finals.
You pulling
That's all I'm
semantics.
saying.
You pulling semantics. I already said LeBron.
I'm pulling reality. I'm showing you what happened.
Nah, it's
First of all, LeBron do it.
What are you saying?
I struggle to do it.
Who cares about the playoffs? I'm talking about being able to go to 8 straight finals. Do you think that Steph Curry would be able to go to 8 straight finals with being the best player on his team? Because Kyrie Irving and Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh were not always his second and third best player on those teams. All those times. But like this. Let me ask you something, right? When LeBron James was facing some of those Warriors teams, and we know who his second best player was, of Matthew Dellavedova, there were times where people were still thinking that those Cavs teams could win at least one game, which is crazy to think. Do you feel that if Steph Curry,
crazy to think?
I'm gonna right, exactly. I'm gonna ask you in a second. I'm gonna ask you in a second. Do you think that if Steph Curry was the best player on the team, right, and Matthew Dellavedova was the second best player on his team, would you pick them or even think that they could win at least 2 NBA Finals games? Do you think so?
All right, I appreciate what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, but I'm
answer the question, Mark.
No. First off,
I was gonna let him go.
First off, hell no, I ain't answered the question. It's a false premise. Matthew Dellavedova wasn't even close to the best player on that second best player on that team. Tristan Thompson was murdering Draymond Green.
Okay, fine. You want to use Tristan Thompson? My fault. That's what you want to use.
Matthew Dellavedova is trash, yo.
Okay,
like come on.
My fault.
Use Tristan Thompson. Another role
Who
player.
You want to use? Who you want to use? We can walk down the line. We can walk down the line.
Wildin', bro.
Use Timothy Mozgov. Timothy Mozgov. Let's use Tristan Thompson.
Y'all wildin'.
If you like Timothy Mozgov, if that's who you like to use,
Matthew Dellavedova.
My fault. That's my L. That's my L.
That is crazy.
Okay, fine. Wow. If Steph Curry had Tristan Thompson as his second best player, do you think he would win at least 2 finals games?
Probably not. I mean, that stuff is situational. I don't think. I think he's got a better chance of doing it. No, it is. I think he got a better chance of doing it right now. I think he's got a better chance of doing it right now.
We just seen Steph get bounced by Ja Morant.
I'm sorry. Did you watch it? Did you watch it 2019? How many games? No.
We forget who LeBron is, man. We forget peak LeBron, man.
This is crazy.
We forget peak LeBron.
I forgot who LeBron is.
I think in this conversation, I think we forget.
Here's
I
my
really
problem.
do.
Here's my problem. Y'all, you use LeBron. This is why I wrote the book. You use LeBron as a way to disrespect Steph.
No one's disrespecting
Yeah.
Steph. All
I
my
think
family
it's
lives in the Bay Area, bro.
No,
we love
listen.
Steph. No one's disrespecting.
You're literally saying that in an age of 3-point shooting, he can't get hot a game? What do you say? If he's in the finals already, which means he's got a team that made it to the finals. Like, barring what you're saying, like, he can't do what LeBron did like by himself. But you're saying if Steph is in the finals,
that's the point. That's all we're saying. You said he could. You said he could. Marcus.
No. You asked me, could he win 2 games?
But see, again,
and what did I say? I said the stuff is situational. I don't think so, but he has a chance to do it now simply because it's a 3-point league and he can get hot.
I seen Draymond Green almost win the Finals MVP when he dropped 30 in the NBA Finals game. So of course you're right. If you want to go that right, of course things happen. Crazy.
No.
I seen Mike Miller go crazy.
Don't do that.
I'm saying in the modern game that's based on 3-point shooting. Yeah, of course. I mean, we watch.
But see, no. I'm not gonna let you mention names like Draymond Green and Duncan Robinson when we talk about Steph. You feel me? My thing is though, I'm not saying that Steph won't get hot. I'm not saying Steph won't average 30. I'm talking about winning. I'm talking about before the game. Do you really think that they could win the game? You know that Steph would go off. You know that Steph would shoot a lot. But LeBron was literally doing everything. Guarding everybody, bringing the ball up, getting rebounds, getting blocks, getting steals.
Absolutely.
I don't think
and my point to you is that. And my point to you is no, that's not who he is as a player. But my point to you is if they made it to the finals, you don't think they so here's the stuff.
That's another thing too.
Here's the stuff. Yeah, you put him in the finals. I didn't put him in the finals.
I'm trying to give you the benefit of the doubt.
No, I don't need no benefit of the doubt.
Thank you, man. I don't even think he would have reached it. I don't think he would have reached it.
With Tristan Thompson in second. No.
You saying it as if like LeBron didn't have to do that. This isn't a hypothetical. LeBron literally had to do this.
At what point did I say LeBron didn't have to do that?
No, I'm saying
I literally wrote a book about it.
I'm saying though, you mentioning Tristan Thompson and saying like Tristan Thompson, hell no. As
no,
if to
I'm
say
saying
like
this Matthew Dellavedova stuff is crazy. This dude was like that's all I'm saying. Like this is nuts.
That's fine.
Tristan Thompson is a legit NBA player, and he's 6'11",
and he picked another role player. He was a role player to another role player. He still picked another role player. He wasn't an all-star. He wasn't a superstar. He was a role player.
Do y'all think do you think I'm slighting LeBron at all?
No. Listen.
I'm just saying Matthew Dellavedova is not like that was 1.5 games and then he was out of there.
That's okay.
That's all I'm saying. Like
I don't want to make this an episode where we compare.
My point is we don't have to defraud the situation to promote LeBron.
We don't have to.
We don't have to make up stuff to LeBron.
I don't even like having these conversations, Marcus, because I feel like it's kind of like one player is LeBron James is a dual forward. He could do everything on the basketball court. So
I don't know why y'all telling me this. I literally wrote about it.
Of course, no, I'm just saying. So even, but the thing about it is even saying Stephen Curry is just kind of like. Stephen Curry can't do everything LeBron James
all I'm saying is different.
Because he doesn't even play that type of position or play style.
No, that's the point. He can't do that because I'm so. But like you said, what I said, you know what I'm saying? If you put a team like that around him, yeah, he could catch lightning in the absolutely. But in the end, he's 6'3", 190.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
And
that's it.
Well, play this. I don't think the conversation originally was who's better, Steph or LeBron, or if Steph, could put up the same type of numbers. I think the original question was, could Steph bring a franchise to 8 straight finals, regardless of how he did it? Whether he had to average 40.
Anybody can.
Okay, that's all we needed.
Thank you.
We could end it, but that's all we needed.
But my question is, why Steph? Why you to say Kevin Durant?
Kevin Durant too.
Okay, no. That was why. That was why. The reason why, and I'll tell you why. Because in your book, I didn't want to give it away, but I think I recall you saying Steph's Warriors. You said Steph's Warriors. You said LeBron's. It's actually so. I'm cool with you saying LeBron being a one-man dynasty. If you don't want to mention Wade, Raj,
can Magic do it? I said Magic Johnson's Lakers.
We're not talking about Magic right now.
No. I'm just saying, you basically said, let's take the greatest feat probably of all time and ask if the 6'3", 190-pound guard can do it. Nobody else.
The reason why he asked that because in your
nobody
book,
can do
exactly.
it.
Had you said the Warriors, I wouldn't have asked that.
Dynasty. You said Steph's dynasty. You said LeBron won dynasty. That's why he asked you that, I think.
Exactly. And I didn't want to say that because I didn't want to give too much of the book. You know what I'm
saying?
Bill
Russell do it in this era?
Hell no. Bill Russell is never mind. Respect to Bill.
What about Larry Bird?
No.
All right. Okay.
Well, do you see where I'm going here?
Larry Bird's dual forward too.
It's the George Mikan Lakers, the Bill Russell Celtics, the Magic Johnson Lakers, the Larry Bird Celtics, the Michael Jordan Bulls. Jordan didn't do it, by the way. Jordan did not do it.
LeBron is different. That's what makes LeBron's the most complete basketball player of all time.
I'm just saying he's one of
right. And they were close to one another, and that's why. I mean, but he in terms of era, right.
Theus did give a reason why he said that, though. It wasn't like
I'm just saying they're all labeled by one team. That's it. They're all labeled by one player.
Of course. But I mean, you know who our audience is on here. If we can't, just ask you about George Mikan.
That's why I wrote it. That's why I wrote it. That's why I wrote the book, because we use this stuff to slander players. That's what we do. We use it to slander players. We use it to slander players we love. Players that in 20 years we're going to be talking to our kids about. Everybody, these people who slander Steph, in 20 years will be telling their kids, man, whoever the hot shooter is at the time, they're going to be like, man, that dude ain't no Steph Curry. Steph Curry used to step in the gym. They're going to be in the barbershops raving about Steph, because that's what we do. And I don't know why we created an era where we have to tear down players to build up other ones. Like, to me, that's crazy. Isaiah was killer. It was killer. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't. The whole premise. I know where you're going. I know what you're doing. I heard it for 5 years, and that's why I addressed it.
That was probably the realest shit I think any of us have said in this episode. You don't got to tear down players in order to really acknowledge and praise others. But so all right. So obviously the common ones, the popular ones that people talk about. I think we touched on.
I want to talk about
the Warriors. I want to talk about the Kobe and Shaq. Oh damn! All right. Hold on. Wait. Can you talk about Kobe and Shaq real quick? I think
Yeah, go ahead.
We can't talk Dynasties. I was
going to talk about Kobe alone, but go ahead. Talk about Kobe and Shaq first.
All right, that's perfect because I was going to talk about Shaq alone. Okay. All right, and all the dynasties that we talk about, and all the the little fake scenarios that people come up with, 5-on-5. My question to you, Marcus: who's stopping Shaquille O'Neal in a game of 5-on-5?
Shaq.
I promise you. And all the little hypotheticals, I literally say whichever team has Shaquille O'Neal is winning the basketball game. That's literally. I don't even know or who else is on the team. Whoever has Shaq.
Here's very simple. Here's the only thing I'll say is the 3-point shot is an incredible equalizer. So Shaq can dunk all he want on twos. I'm saying, look, you put KD, Steph, and Clay on the perimeter. That's a lot of dunks to match that. That's all.
It is. But again, who on those?
But then they got Kobe.
Yeah. But even still, though, obviously, those are 3 of the greatest shooters of all time. Not saying that they would get cold or whatever, but even though 3 is more than 2, Shaq dunking the ball is damn near about 98% chance of happening against some of those Warriors teams. So I just don't see I really do think I'm not even trying to gas it. I think Shaq would average 50.
Shaq and Kobe over Bulls?
Because
they had Bill Winnington, they had James.
First of all, it didn't matter who. It doesn't
Luke
matter who the center
Longley.
is. To be very clear, it doesn't matter who the center is. It's food. To be very clear, Shaq was doing like that but Shaq was doing this against Mutombo. To be very clear, to be very clear. So to me, it doesn't matter who the center is.
Yeah, I think I'll put Shaq and Kobe over the Bulls. I think they're a better duo than Michael and Jordan.
The reason I'm not putting Shaq and Kobe over them. The reason I'm not putting it is because there's a whole other team. There's a whole rest of the team. And when you talking about championships, it's not the top 2 players. It's 7, it's 8. It's how they play together. It's how well they know their system. It's all kind of that's why none of us are talking about system. You said what?
The Lakers played in the same system though.
Lakers had massive drama and they who the Lakers beat? Who's the best team they beat? Who would you say?
Sixers, Philly. Sixers, Indiana.
The Nets. The Nets were spectacular. I think people.
No, they were not spectacular.
they were fun. They were fun show to watch.
They were fun, but who's the second best player on that team?
Vince Carter,
Kenyon Martin, Richard Jefferson.
Hey, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They 3-peat. That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
That's true. We're not gonna sit here and act like and act like the Bulls were very impressive in the teams that they beat. Because I'm not. They beat Magic or older Magic. But
just for the record, Vince Carter was not on those Nets.
He wasn't. Yeah,
but it was RJ. It was Kenyon Martin. It was Kerry Kittles. But
Kerry Kittles.
Dennis Rodman, Tony Kukoc. They were pretty loaded, bro.
None of those names are going to stop Shaquille O'Neal, and I know you're not saying
they're
they
not.
are.
But I'm
saying you're not saying they are.
Yeah, I get you. But you talk about the teams the Lakers beat. That's true. The Bulls. I guess I give the Bulls.
The Bulls beat the Sonics, the Jazz. The
Suns.
They got through the Knicks. They got through the Pacers. These weren't no push-ups. It's like 20-something Hall of Famers that don't have a ring because of Mike.
I know they don't like.
Why do you think Pippen going off right now?
That club just has to be irritated. It's every time they see him, just this.
I had a ring. I had a ring.
Marcus, I want to ask you. To switch gears because we talking about Kobe and Shaq a little bit. Somebody that wasn't in your book, you had Kobe and Shaq, but what about would you consider Kobe's run when he won those 2 back-to-back championships as a dynasty? Because I look at Kobe Bryant and what he did. Like I mentioned Isaiah Thomas earlier in the podcast, talking about how other than Isaiah Thomas, it's Kobe Bryant who's won a championship, back-to-back championships while having a top 75 player of all time. Would you consider that a dynasty maybe?
Yeah, I definitely, no question. Pau Gasol is a quintessential player. If we add all these other elements, because we just need some kind of rubric, I think they fall short as far as like evolving the game. And like we remember Kobe Shaq, man. Like that's the one that took our heart. You know what I'm saying? Like we just fell in love with them. But absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Come on. Like Lamar Odom, like I'll tell you what, I lined them up with a lot of teams. Like if it's a round robin tournament, they can make a run. You know what I'm saying? Put all these teams in a
facts.
bracket style tournament, they can make a run.
I think a legitimate argument could be made. Like we look at Kobe and Shaq's three-peat though, but like one can even say that like, damn, Kobe's run alone. If you look at the teams that he beat,
we're not gonna do that.
Okay.
We're not gonna disrespect Pau Gasol like this.
That's fine. But look at the teams that Kobe beat in the three-peat. It's kind of like Kobe and the Lakers. It's just like it was 3 Hall of Famers.
You talking about Kobe and Shaq? Or just
I'm talking about Kobe. I'm talking about Kobe.
Oh, so Kobe.
Two-peat. You look at the team like Kobe went up against 3 Hall of Famers, like, and won. You know what I'm saying? Without a top 75 player of all time. Like, it's serious. It's serious. Like, I don't know, man. I probably have Kobe in that. That's crazy. Like, that's a tough one though.
I mean, the thing is though, like whenever we have these conversations, it's like,
somebody got to get left out. Yep.
Somebody get left out. And based off the list that I saw, I mean, it's tough to take off.
Putting Kobe in there twice over.
That's the hard thing. Yeah, Mark. That's what I'm saying. It's just like you can't put them in there twice. It's just like it's like. Yeah,
put them jokers in the tournament though. Like, put 8 Kobe in one and 24 in the other. Like, 24 Kobe give 8 some problems when they match.
And vice versa. And vice versa.
Kobe would dog the old, right?
Yeah, I just want to.
I
just want to get Kobe his flowers because it's crazy to think about. Like, Kobe really could have been in your book twice. You know what I'm saying? That's
no question.
Special.
No question at all. Absolutely.
What about the Spurs Dynasty? How you feel about kind of those? I want to say individuals because obviously Dynasty we know, but TP, Manu, and obviously Tim.
Tim, man, Tim all time, bro. Like if Tim had any personality, he'd be like, you know what I'm saying? Like he'd be on our tongues more. But I just really love how the Spurs opened up the game globally, man. They made people get on their scout game. You know what I'm saying? Like you had to post up internationally. Otherwise the Spurs was going to find some gems and was going to get them for cheap. And now you out here looking bad because they done found Ginobili and Luis Scola and Parker. You know what I'm saying? So they made people step up their game. So when you start looking at the Luka Doncic and Nikola Jokic and these players, like, that's a product of people having to scour the land because the Spurs was like, we're going to find them, right? We're going to find them and we're going to beat you with them and you're going to be mad because you don't think they can play because they got funny names, but we're going to cook you with these dudes, right? And they made everybody open it up. That to me, and I think you also got to give them some of the credit for what the Warriors became because the Warriors were operating with a lot of the Spurs philosophies in mind, ball movement, body movement, like Steve chemistry, like all that. So, that's one thing I loved about doing this book is you could see how all of these dynasties interlink and it becomes less about who was better and more about how the one was built on the one before. You know what I'm saying? Like we talk about this social justice now, people in the streets, man, wasn't nobody more about that life than the Russell Celtics. They was out here facing death. Medgar Evers got killed and Bill Russell went to Mississippi and held a camp for kids in the city. And it was so like dangerous that the family was posted at his hotel door with shotguns because it wasn't safe. Like they was out here doing this stuff, Sam Jones, Red Auerbach, think about this, man. They put the first all black starting 5 on the court for the Boston Celtics. Like, think about it. They have 4 black players and Tommy Heinsohn, who the late Tommy Heinsohn who recently passed, and then Willie Knowles was the black dude waiting off the bench. So Tommy Heinsohn he was out and Knowles started, and that's how the first starter 5 happened. But think about what Tommy Heinsohn went through playing with 4 black players in Boston. What was he hearing at home? What was they calling him? With the dudes he was rolling with was 4 black dudes. Like I think that team was about that life, man. They was in it. Like
I think that's why I'm so excited for people to get to read your book because, like you said, it's more than just like the basketball. It's about what impact that they have being a dynasty. Like it just it surpasses the court as well. So and to be honest, Marcus, you might want to pitch a script talking about the Celtics. Like, yo, that could be a TV series or something. I can't even hold you.
Speaking of which, I got to shout you out for them Bad Boys Pistons too. People, so you know what they did when I was looking this up. You know, they brought the hood into the game.
Yeah,
they represented for the inner city in the middle of the crack epidemic in Detroit, where everybody was losing everything. And Chicago and Isaiah, a dude from the slums of Chicago, was like, all right, we gonna be about this. And those people in Detroit had a reason to be proud. You know what I'm saying? At a time where people were losing jobs, the city was falling apart. The Pistons came through and became that team that people looked up to. Man, that stuff was mattering, man.
That's why, I'm from the Midwest, so that's why I kind of, y'all got me on the Golden State. I had to support. I got to support Detroit. You know what I'm saying? That's from the Midwest, so you already know.
Just for the record, I mean, we all know, that Bad Boys Pistons team, in Dynasty was real. Ain't no doubt about it. Yeah. But the word that gets used to describe them, or the word that we use in terms of the ranking and stuff, that's where it's like,
I feel you.
Let's hit the pause button. There's nothing wrong with that, though. There's nothing wrong with that. But before we let you go, Marcus, man, first things first, man, we appreciate you for being on the show, obviously. But if you could, man, just tell everybody, a little bit more about your book, where they can get it and everything like that, man.
Check me. First off, I gotta thank y'all, man. Y'all, like I said, I've been doing this since 4:30, and y'all, this was fun. You know what I'm saying? We was just in the barbershop. You know what I'm saying? Like just doing our thing. That's great to just be able to have those conversations. But check it out. We at Amazon, we at Barnes and Nobles, wherever you buy books. But I'm gonna encourage you to hit up your local bookstore, especially the black one. You know what I'm saying? And,
heard it.
Support the community, support local business. But yeah, anywhere you cop it, it's a great gift. If you got youngsters who love the NBA or love basketball, go ahead and hit them off. It's like right in that perfect price range, $30. It ain't, you don't look cheap if you get them as a gift, and it ain't too expensive. It's like right in that perfect wheelhouse. But a lot of youngsters, because of the art and the pictures, will be drawn to it, and then they'll get to learn their history. A lot of the stuff is about like society and how we embraced athletes, and NBA players, many of whom are black, right? So it's important to me that young people get their hands on it. So yeah, great gift I did. Holler at them for Christmas.
And say the name of it one more time so everyone can hear it.
Dynasties, the 10 GOAT teams that changed the NBA forever. Also, Steph is the greatest player of all time. I just want to sit y'all out.
No pump fakes. He ain't pump faking.
Y'all out. And I'm riding with MJ all day. Come on, man.
All right, man. You know what? Then if that's because you're not about to let you end it like that. So say one thing.
People get their feelings when you start bringing up Steph. I
know. Why do you think I asked about him? But no. All right. Say one take. It could be in your book or just how you feel that for a fact will piss some people off. If you don't mind, just say one thing that will bother someone that you really believe, though. You know what I'm saying?
That you feel passionate about.
That you feel passionate about, that, a hill that you will die on and say, you know what, I don't give a damn what these fake Twitter trolls say. I'm standing by it.
That LeBron is his own dynasty. Like that's
not good enough. That's not good enough. It's not good
enough. We got three people here that agree with that.
Yeah, we respect you too much to let you go with that.
We ain't talking about y'all though. We talking about people on Twitter, right?
Even still. So
how about y'all give me the take then? All right.
So give me an example.
Warriors, I don't even know if I said this, but the Warriors is the greatest dynasty of all time. I didn't say that in the book, but if I said that, would that fit?
Yeah, that damn show would fit.
No, it's not good enough for me.
I'm not. George Mikan is the greatest center of all time.
There we go.
Can we roll with that?
There we go.
Can we roll down?
That's no pump fakes. George Mikan is the greatest center of all time. Marcus Thompson. Can we get a quote card for you?
Fake.
Oh my God.
Man. But nah, man,
thank you again, Marcus.
You. Yeah, for sure, man. For sure, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Y'all about to get me trolled like crazy, man. Y'all crazy.
What's up, y'all? It's Theus McBee. Make sure you go follow No Pump Fakes on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you listen to your podcasts. it.